So yesterday we had a look at, or in depth we covered the bootstrapping process of an Angular application. Yes. So let's quickly revise it once more. So here now till now we are working only with the root module and root component. Yes, till now we have not learned how to create these child modules and child components. So we are just playing with only root module and root component. Right? Okay. So our Angular application right now is having only this root module, that is the app module, and the root component, that is app component. So whatever bootstrapping process we saw it only with respect to this root module and root component. Yes. Okay. So let's quickly revise the bootstrapping process. So when you give this particular command ngserve, first of all, what it does, it invokes the Angular compiler, that is ngc compiler. ngc transpiles all the TypeScript files and converts it into JavaScript files. Then it creates the main.js file, right? The main JavaScript file, which will be created. Okay, so empty main.js file will be created. Then a webpack will get invoked. It will extract the code from all the JavaScript files and put all that code into a single file, that is basically your main.js. So it will extract the code from all the JavaScript files, all the created JavaScript files, and it will put all that code inside the main.js file. And then main.js will be referred from index.html. Yes, okay, in this particular way, like we refer to our JavaScript files using the script tag, exactly in the same way, this main.js will be referred from index.html, right? Okay, so now after all the JavaScript code has been added to main.js, now what the webpack will do, webpack will jump to main.ts, right? Webpack will jump to main.ts, okay, and it will start reading this main.ts, right? Okay, or it will start interpreting this main.ts. Okay, so now obviously the interpretation will happen from top to bottom. Yes. Okay, so while interpreting this main.ts, first of all it will encounter the import statement. So in our main.ts we have written the import statement for app.module.ts, right? Okay, so now as soon as this webpack encounters this particular import statement app.module.ts, okay, what it will do, it will jump to this app.module.ts, right? Okay, so so from main.ts it will jump to this app.module.ts, and now it will start interpreting this app.module.ts, or it will start reading this app.module.ts, right? Okay, now again in app.module.ts it will find that we have written one more import statement, that is import app.component.ts, right? Okay, so now from app.module.ts it will jump to this app.component.ts, right? Okay, and then in app.component.ts it will check, are there any other import statements? Okay, or does the app.component.ts also contain some import statement? So if there are any import statement in app.component.ts, okay, then it will jump to those import files, right? Okay, but now in our case in app.component.ts there are no import statements. Fine. So what it will do, so you can say that in this particular hierarchy, okay, this app.component.ts is the last node, right? Okay, so after app.component.ts, okay, we do not have any other import statements. So this is the last file which is containing the import statement, right? Okay, so now what it will do, it will extract the code from this app.component.js, okay, and put that code inside the main.js, right? Okay, so the first JavaScript code that will be put inside main.js will be the code of app.component.js, also, or basically the JavaScript code of app component. Now after this JavaScript code has been added to main.js, right? Okay, it will go up in the hierarchy, Okay, and in and over here it will go to app.module.ts, right? Okay, now again this app.module.ts does not contain any import statement, right? Okay, so what it will do, it will uh, extract the code of this app.module.js and put that code in main.js. Okay, so now after the JavaScript code of app component, the JavaScript code of app module will get inserted into main.js, and then at the end the JavaScript code of main.ts will be added to this main.js, right? Okay, so it will basically move in the reverse direction, right? While adding the JavaScript code, it will basically move in the reverse direction, okay, or it will move up in the hierarchy, fine. Okay, so now once all the JavaScript code has been added to main.js, the main.js will start executing from top to bottom, right? Okay, so that's why you are seeing this particular code like app.component.ts started, app.component.ts finished, then app.module.ts started, app.module.ts finished, then main.ts started, main.ts finished, right? Okay, and then what will happen, so after you see all these statements, all right? Okay, then what will happen, in main.ts we had written the code, what, bootstrap module, right? So in main.ts we have written this particular code, platform browser dynamic dot bootstrap module, right? Okay, so this code will start executing, or basically the JavaScript version of this particular code will start executing. So over here, what are we doing? We are bootstrapping the app module, right? We are bootstrapping the app module. Okay, so what will happen? First of all, an object of app module will get created. Yes, okay, an object of app module will get created, and then uh, after the app model object has been created, okay, for now since we have included this app component in app module, right? Okay, since we have imported added the app component inside app module, okay, then the object of app component will get created, fine. Okay, so so this will be the process of object creation. So first of all, the module object will get created, and then the app component object will get created, right? Okay, and inside the app component the code has been written, okay, to whatever is the HTML template of app component, right? Okay, whatever is the HTML template of app component, so this we have basically written inside app.component.html. Okay, but when you are, but at one time all this code will go inside that JS file, right? Okay, or basically the JavaScript code of app.component.ts. Okay, so this HTML code will also go as a part of the JavaScript code of app.component.js, right? Okay, so since now this becomes a part of the JavaScript code, okay, this code will start executing and you will see this HTML on your browser, right? Okay, so yesterday we had seen completely the main.js, all right? Okay, over here I might be having the downloaded file. Okay, so actually this is a different main.js. Okay, so this is not yesterday's main.js. This is a different main.js. Okay, fine. But yesterday I had shown you this main.js. All right. Okay, so I hope till here everyone is clear, right? Yes. So all these things we had seen yesterday. So now let's continue with today's discussion. So today we want to discuss about child modules and child components. All right. Okay. So we will be learning how to create child modules and child components. All right. Okay. So as told to you already that any Angular application will have only one root module and one root component, and all the other modules will be the child modules of this root module, and all the other components will be the child components of the root component. Okay. So now we will be learning how to create those child modules and child components. Fine. Okay. So now what we will do, we will create a module which will be the child module of this app module, and we will be creating a component which will be the child component of this app component. Right. So over here, last time what we had done when we created the module, okay, we wrote the complete code from the scratch. Right. When we created this my app module, we wrote the complete code from the scratch. Yes, we had written this complete code by ourselves. But then this was just to show you, or to make you explain in a better way about the modules. All right. Okay. But usually we do not write this code by ourselves. All right. Okay. There is an inbuilt Angular CLI command using which we can directly create a module. Fine. So now we'll be creating, we will not be writing the code for creating the modules or the components by ourselves, but we'll be using the Angular CLI commands. Right. So over here, cd ng 16 demo, and here the command is ng gm. Right. ng-gm. Okay. And now I will give the name of the module as, let's say, mod a. All right. Okay. I want to give I will give the name of the module as mod a. All right. So this is the command. Okay. ng. Right. ng stands for Angular, g stands for generate, m stands for module. Either you can type m or you can write it completely module. Right. Okay. So it depends on you. Okay. Either you can use a shortcut or you can directly write the complete word module. Fine. So, and then this is the name of the module. Fine. So mod a dot module.ts got created. So you can see, okay, we have got a folder by the name mod a. So whatever name we gave over here, okay, it first of all created a folder by that name, and then it inside that folder it created a file mod-a dot module.ts. Okay, so here you can see that it has automatically added that dot module.ts. Right now, okay, because here we had said that we want to create a module, so automatically it added this particular suffix dot module to this mod-a. Right. Okay, and then if you open this particular file, so here you can see it has created a class by the name mod a module. Right, mod a module. Okay, so here we have given mod hyphen a. Here we have used all small letters. Fine. But when it creates a class for that, what it will do, it will follow the camel case. All right. Okay. So the first letter will become capital. Also after hyphen, so it will omit the hyphen, and after hyphen, whatever is there, it will also make this as capital. All right. Okay, and then since we are creating a module, it will also suffix it with module. Okay, so it will automatically add a module to this particular thing, mod A. All right, guys. Fine. So now over here you can see that whatever code we had written previously, the same code is by default created for us. Yes, guys. So it has created the complete module class and given to us, right? Okay. So here we can see that it has already imported the ng module. Okay. And then to this particular class, it has applied this at the ng module decorator. And here it has given the declarations property and imports property. Fine, guys. Okay. So you simply create a module by using the Angular CLI command. Fine. Yes, guys, I hope till here it is clear. Okay. So our module is created. Now what we want to do, we want to create a component. Yes. Okay. Which will be a part of this particular module. So now the Angular command to create a component is ng gc. Right. C stands for component. Okay. So you can either type only C or you can type component. Right. And then the name of component. So for example, I'm giving the component as A1. Right. Okay. So now I want this particular component to belong to this module A. I want this component to belong to this module A. So that's why I'm giving the name of this component as A1. Right. So ng g component A1. Yes. So now we can see that the 4 files created, right? a1.component.html, a1.component.spec.ts, a1.component.ts, and a1.component.css, right? Okay. So 4 files have been created. So internally, if you see over here, a folder is created by the name A1. And in this A1 folder, these 4 files are created. So it will automatically create a folder as well as it will put these files inside that folder, right? And now if you see over here, till now we have worked with the CSS file, the HTML file, and this TS file, right? But this file is something different, a1.component.spec.ts, right? Okay. So this file is basically used for unit testing, right? If I want to unit test this a1.component.ts, then I will be using this particular file, or I'll be writing the code for unit testing inside this particular file. All right. So this file is basically used for unit testing of a particular component. But now in this particular course, we are not going to talk about any kind of testing. Okay. So we don't require this file at all. All right. Okay. We are not going to use this file. Okay. So even if we delete this file for now, that is okay. All right. So better is that I delete this file since I'm not going to touch that file. Right. And then over here, you can see it has also executed an update operation, update app.module.ts. So it has also updated the app.module.ts, right? So now what happens is that whenever you create a component in Angular, by default, that component gets added to app.module.ts, right? Or by default, that component becomes a part of app.module.ts. So if I go to this app.module.ts, here you will see that it has already added the import statement for A1 component. Yes. And in the declarations also, it has specified A1 component. Okay. So by default, it has made this A1 component as a component of app module. All right. Okay. So right now the scenario is that your app module consists of 2 components. First one is this app component and second one is this A1 component. All right. Okay. But now we don't want this A1 component to be the part of this app module, right? We don't want this A1 component to be the part of app module. We want this A1 component to be the part of this mod A, right? We want this A1 component to be the part of this mod A, right? So here, what I will do, I will remove this import statements from here, and this declarations also I will remove it. Yes. So I will remove both of these statements from here. And now if I go, I will go to this mod a.module.ts, and here I will write that particular import statement. So import A1 component from A1/A1 dot component. Yes. And then in the declarations, I will write A1 component. Right, guys? Okay. I hope you remember what is this declarations property. Right. Okay. So in this declarations property, we specify the names of the components which are supposed to be the part of this particular module. Right. Okay. So now I want this A1 component to be the part of this mod A module. So I have specified that A1 component in the declarations of mod A module. All right, guys. So no big deal. Okay, I've just removed the import statement and the declaration of A1 component from app module and added to this mod A module. All right. And now even if I go to this a1.component.ts, I can see that it has already created a class and it has decorated that class with @component decorator. And it has also by default provided a selector app A1. So since we specified the name of the component as A1, so it has created a selector by the name app A1, right? Okay. Now how did this app came? How did this app came? Because over here in angular.json, okay, the default prefix that is specified is app, right? Okay. I think I had shown you that in angular.json, the default prefix that is specified is app, right? So you see here this prefix app. Yes. Okay. So since the default prefix has been specified as app, so all the selector names will begin with app, right? So here, so it has also specified the template URL and the styles URL. Fine. So our app component has been created. Yes, guys. Okay. Now let's come to this app.component.html again, and here we will just give h1 tag, right? Okay. So h1, this is a1 component slash h1, and here in app.component.html also, okay, here I have already put this h1 tag. Fine. I hope till here it is clear. Creating creating a component with the help of Angular CLI. Yes, people. I hope till here everything is clear. Please, can I get responses in the chat? Fine. So now we have created this A1 component and we have added that A1 component to mod A module, right? We have created the A1 component and we have added the A1 component to mod A module, right? Okay. Fine. So till now, what has happened is that A1 component has been created. It has been added to the mod A module. Okay. And mod A module is a child module of root module. Fine. Okay. So now, this one. Okay, fine. So over here we have created the mod A module. Okay. But now if I go to this app.module.ts, right? Okay. So till now we have only created the module, okay, but we have not made that module as a child module of app module, right? Okay. So here, to make this module as a child module of app module, what we'll do, first of all, import mod a module from this particular file, and then in the import statement, what I will do, I will say mod a module. So I will add this mod a module in the imports array, right guys? Fine. So now this mod a module has become a part of app module, or we can say that this mod a module has become the child module of app module, right guys? So this is how you can create child modules. Okay, so you basically you simply add the name of that particular module in the imports array. Fine guys. Okay, is it clear? So now our mod a module has become a child module of app module, right? So here right now this is basically the situation. Yes. Okay, just ignore this part. So right now this is the situation. This a1 component is a part of mod a module, and this mod a module is a child module of this root module. Yes guys. But now what we want this a1 component also to be the child component of this root component. Yes guys. Right now this a1 component, right now we have only created this a1 component, okay, but we have not made this a1 component as a child component of this app component, right? Okay, so now we also want to make this a1 component as a child component of app component. Fine. So I want it to be this particular way, right? I want this a1 component to be the child component of app component. So to do that, what I will do, here, see, if I want to create a child module, then I will add the module name inside the imports array of the parent module, right? If I want to create a child module, then I will add the module name inside the imports array of parent module. Yes. Okay. But then if I want to create a child component of some other component, if I want to create a child component of some other component, then what I will do, I will simply use the selector. Okay, so now what is the selector of this a1 component? That is app a1. So I will just copy this particular selector. I'll just copy this selector and put that selector in the HTML template of the parent component. All right, so I will just copy that. I will just use that selector in the HTML template of parent component. So here I'll simply say app a1. That's it. So this is how I create child components. All right. Okay. So to make a module as a child module, we will need to add the child module name in the imports property of the parent module. But to make a component as a child component, we simply need to use the selector of that child component in the HTML template of the parent component. All right. Okay. So this is how we create child components. So now a1 component is a child component of app component. Got it, guys? I hope this is clear how to create child modules and child components. Yes, guys? Okay. So now, just save everything. Okay, but now if I compile this, okay, if I compile this, I am getting an error. What it is saying, app A1 is not a known element, right? App A1 is not a known element. If app A1 is an Angular component, then verify that it is a part of this particular module, right? Okay, fine. So basically it is saying that uh, first of all, it is basically saying that I am not able to recognize this app A1, right? I don't know what is this app A1. Okay, and then it is saying that if this app A1 is a component, then first of all verify that this app A1 is a part of this module. Right, app A1 is a part of this module. Now this module means which module? Right, okay, see, we are using this app A1, right, inside which component? This app component, right? We are using this the selector of app component, sorry, we are using the selector of A1 component inside app component, right? Okay, and app component is a part of which module? It is a part of app module. All right, okay, so when they are saying that verify that it is a part of this module, that means they are basically referring to the app module. Okay, so here, since you are using the selector A1 component selector in app component, in the HTML template of app component, then by default it assumes that this component is also a part of same module. Okay, so by default it thinks that this A1 component will also be a part of this app module. All right, okay, because I told you that whenever you are creating a component, by default that component gets added in the app module. All right, okay, so here also it is basically thinking that this A1 component is a part of app module. All right, okay, but when it goes to that app module, again it does not find that A1 component. All right, because obviously we had removed those import statements. All right, okay, we had removed all the entries of app A1 component from the app module. Okay, so when it goes to this app module, okay, it does not find any information about A1 component. All right, okay, so since it is not getting any information about the A1 component, it is giving this particular error. Got it, guys? Yes, people. So why this error message is getting generated? Now is it clear? Any doubts over here? Yeah, Priti, is it clear to you? Krishan, fine. Okay. So by default, it assumes that we are using this selector of A1 component inside app component or the HTML template of app component. Okay, so it assumes that this A1 component will also be a part of app module. Since app component is a part of app module, so it assumes that this A1 component will also be a part of app module. Okay, but we have not made this A1 component as a part of app module. Right, okay, so in the app module it does not find any information about the A1 component. Right, so that's why it is giving this particular error. Yes, guys, okay, so now how to rectify this particular error, right? How to solve this particular error? Okay, so we basically need to tell that this A1 component is not a part of app module, but it is a part of mod A module. All right, okay, so see here, whenever you are adding a component to a particular module, all right, okay, whenever you are adding a component to a particular module, that component will be available only inside that module. All right, whenever you are adding a component inside a particular module, that component will be available only inside that module. Okay, so right now this A1 component has been added to module A. So this A1 component will be available to other components which are also part of module A. Okay, so over here, if I have another component, let's say A2 component. Yes, okay. If I have another component, A2 component, okay, then this A1 will be available to A2 and A2 will be available to A1. Right? Okay. So only the components which are part of the same module, right? Okay, only the components which are part of the same module, they will be accessible to each other, right? Okay, but these components will not be available outside the module, right? These components will not be available outside the module. You can use these components only within the same module, right? Okay, but then now we have used the selector of A1 component in the HTML template of app component, right? Okay, and app component is a part of this app module, right? Okay, so that means we are trying to use this particular component inside another component which is a part of a different module, right? Okay, we are trying to use this particular component inside another component which is a part of a different module. Okay, so by default Angular will not allow that, right? By default Angular allows a component to be accessible only within the same module. It does not allow the component to be accessible outside the module. Yes, okay, but now we want to use it inside app module, or sorry, app component. Okay, we want to make this A1 component as a child component of app component. All right, okay, so we want this A1 component to be available inside app component, right? Okay, so here I will need to specify that this A1 component can be used outside the module also, right? Okay, right, okay, so basically it's like making this A1 component public, right? Right now you can say that this A1 component is private to this particular module, right? Right now this A1 component is private to this particular module, okay, but now you want this A1 component to be available outside the module also, okay, so it's like making this A1 component as a public component, right? So it can be it can be used inside components which are in a different module also, right guys? So now how to make this A1 component available outside this module A? So here I will go to this a1.module.ts, and here like we have this imports array, okay, or declarations. Okay, in declarations we have specified the component. Similarly, here we need to add one more property by the name exports, right? And inside this exports property, I will specify A1 component, right? Okay, so basically by using this exports property, I'm saying that okay, this A1 component is a part of basically by using this declarations property, I'm saying that this A1 component is a part of mod A module, and by using this exports property, I'm saying that this A1 component can also be used outside this mod A module. Right, guys? Is this clear? Did everyone understood what we have discussed just now? Right? Okay. So to make a component available outside the module, we need to use this exports property. Right? To make a component available outside a module also, we need to use this exports property. Now let me just save this. And now we can see that it has got compiled. And now if I zero zero, okay, so now we can see we have got, this is the app component. Okay, so this is basically the output of app component, and this is the A1 component. All right, guys. Okay, so now this A1 component is basically getting displayed inside app component. All right, A1 component is getting displayed inside app component. All right, is it clear? So this is how we create child components and child modules. All right, okay. Now by looking at the output, you basically don't understand that this A1 is actually a child of this app component. Okay, so we can just apply some styles, okay, and make it visible as a child component. All right, so I will go to, first of all, go to this app component dot css, and here I'll simply create a class uh, dot container. Okay, instead of container, I'll just make it as dot um, wrapper. Okay, and here I can say width 50%, margin 0 px auto. So to make it available in the center, right? Then I can have let's say border to px solid blue, right? And then background color, again I will say uh, light blue. Yes, okay. And then I will say font family, I'll just call it as Arial. Okay, and extra line center. Fine. Okay, and I will add it. So here what I'll do, I'll just create a div. Close this div over here, and I'll say class equal to a wrapper. Yes, guys. Okay. So the CSS has been applied to the our parent component. Now let's do one thing. Let's apply the same CSS to the child component. Yes. Okay. So here I will just go to this app component. I will simply copy this entire thing, and I will put in the CSS file of the A1 component. All right. And I will simply just change the color from blue to let's say red, and here instead of light blue I'll make it as pink. Okay, so what happened to this? Okay, sorry, I did not use the div. Div class equal to wrapper. Yes. Okay, so now it is clearly it looks like this A1 is a child component of app component. Yes, guys. I'll just add some padding also. So padding 20 pixels, and here also adding 20 pixels. Fine, guys. I hope this is clear. Okay. So we have this app component, and inside this app component, we have A1 component. All right. Is it clear, everyone? Okay. So we have basically learned how to create a child module and a child component. All right. Okay. But now a few important points over here. Okay, small points, but no one pays attention to that. Right. I would like to highlight those points. See, now this app module, it's a root module. Right now, app module, it's a root module. Okay, and in in this module, okay, see, which inbuilt module has been imported? The browser module, right now. Okay, so in this app module, okay, the browser module has been imported, right? Okay, when we created our own root module, that was my app module.ts. So over here also we imported the browser module. Yes. Okay. Fine. So the in the root module, okay, basically here you will find that it is importing the browser module. But now if I go to this mod a module.ts, right? Mod a module.ts. Okay. So in the imports, okay, we don't see uh, the browser module, but instead of browser module, okay, we have some other module which is called as common module. All right. Okay. Fine. So here, by default, it is not importing the browser module, but it is importing some other module which is called as common module. All right. Okay. So when we were discussing about the modules, okay, at that time I told you that whenever we are creating a module, okay, so in the imports array we specify the other modules on which our module is dependent upon. Okay, and browser module is one of such modules. All right. Okay. So now this browser module is imported in the app module. Okay, but it is not imported in the mod a module. Yes. Okay, and instead of browser module, we can see that a common a module by the name common module has been imported. All right. Okay. So why over here it is common module and why not browser module? Right. Okay. Why it is here it is common module and why not browser module? Okay. That question arises. Right. Okay. So let us understand that answer that question. See, when you talk about modules in Angular, okay, now let us have a little bit in-depth discussion about module. Okay, so now when we talk about modules in Angular, okay, there are two types of modules. All right, okay, there are two types of modules. First one is root module. Okay, first one is root module, and second type of modules is called as feature modules. Okay, fine. Yes. Okay. So there are two types of modules in Angular. First one is root module. Okay. And second one is feature module. Second type of module is feature module. Okay. Now root module, again, we have already understood. Okay. Root module is a module which is the parent module of all the modules. Correct. Root module is the module which is the parent module of all the modules. And when you create an Angular application, this root module is provided to you by default. All right. Okay. So it is a parent of all the modules. Okay. And it is provided by default when we create Angular application. Now I'm just typing, writing ng. Okay. Using Angular CLI. Right. Okay. So it is provided by default, or it is created by default when we create the Angular application using Angular CLI. Okay. And then when you talk about feature modules, okay, now feature modules are nothing but child modules of this root modules. Okay. So whatever user defined modules you create, all those modules are called as feature modules. Okay. So over here, mod A, mod B, mod C, mod D, right? Okay. Whatever modules you create, okay, whatever child modules you create, all those child modules are called as feature modules, right? Okay. So here, okay, so I can call feature modules as user defined modules. Okay. And these are basically child modules of root module. All right. Okay. So all the user defined modules which are child modules of root module are called as feature modules. All right, guys. Okay. And now when we talk about root module, okay, now in this root module, we import browser module. Okay. So in the root module, okay, we import the browser module. Okay. But when it comes to feature module, so in the feature module, we import, it does not import browser module, but it imports common module. Right. Okay. It does not import the browser module, but it imports the common module. Yes, guys. Okay. So basically this browser module, okay, when you say browser module, okay, this browser module contains a functionality, right? Browser module contains a functionality which is required to execute an application inside a browser. Okay, so basically some browser specific functionality is present inside the browser module. Okay, fine. So now so that particular functionality will be available to the components which are present in that particular module. So now see here in root module, you are importing the browser module. Okay. So the browser module functionality will be available to the components which are present in root module. Right. Okay. So in the root module, we have the root component, that is the app component. Okay. So this browser specific functionality will be available to the app component. Right. Okay. Fine. Since app component is inside the app module, and inside app module we have imported the browser module, so this browser specific functionality will be available inside app component. Right, guys. Okay. So here it basically provides browser specific functionality to component. Okay, or here I can specify simply to directly I can, now since there is only one component, okay, I can directly specify that component to, I can directly say to app component. Yes, guys. Okay, so it provides browser specific functionality to app component. Right? Okay. Now, when you talk about commons module, okay, now we are importing the common module in our feature module. That means the user defined module. In our case, it is mod A module. Right? Right. So we have imported this common module inside mod A module. So basically, whatever is the functionality of this common module. Now, obviously, it does not contain any browser specific functionality. Browser specific functionality is present inside browser module. This common module has some other functionality. All right. Okay. Now, what is that functionality that we will see? Okay. But then it has some functionality. And since we are importing the commons module in our mod A module, so whatever the components are available or part of mod A module, those components will get this particular functionality. All right. Okay. So since we are importing this common module inside our user defined modules, so whatever components are present inside our user defined modules, those components will get this particular functionality. Okay, or will have access to this particular functionality provided by this common module. Yes, guys, am I clear? Yes. Okay, so here I can write, okay, provides uh, functionality present in common module to components present inside that feature module. Right. Okay, provides functionality present in commons module to the components present inside that particular feature module. Okay, so whatever components are part of that particular feature module, okay, the the functionality of the common module will be provided to those components. Right. Okay, so now what does this common module contain? What does this common module contain? Okay, let's have a look at it. I'll just open my browser, and here I'll say common module in Angular. Yes, so directly we'll go to the Angular official site. Okay, so see here what functionality it is containing. Exports all the basic Angular directives such as pipes, directives and pipes such as ngIf, ng for decimal pipe, and so on. Right. Okay, so this common module has contains the functionality of the directives, Angular directives and pipes. Okay, so this common module basically provides the functionality of Angular directives and pipes. Okay, right now what are those Angular directives? What are those pipes? Right. Okay, that we will see later on. Okay, but these are some important things, okay, which we require in our components. All right. Okay, so basically if you want to apply a if condition in the ng template, then you use ngIf. Right. Okay, if you want to have a for loop, then you use this ng for. Right. If you want to transform the output, then you use pipes. All right. Okay, so basically the functionality of the directives and pipes is present inside the common module. Right, the functionality of the directives and the pipes is present inside the common module. Okay, so a lot of times in our components we require this particular functionality, right? Okay, so that's why in our feature module we import the common module. Yes guys, yes people, is it clear? Okay. Now again it is saying one more thing, right? So so this you can say this common module basically provides the functionality of directives and pipes. Okay, so we can use these directives and pipes in our components, right? Okay, but then again they are saying one more thing: re-exported by the browser module, which is included automatically in the root app module when you create a new app with Angular CLI command. Okay, so what they're saying, this commons module is also re-exported by the browser module. Commons module is also re-exported by the browser module. Okay, so that means what? Like we have done over here. Okay, in mod A module, we have imported the common module. Okay, and we also have these exports, right? Okay, so what they have done, okay, in the exports again they have mentioned the common module. Okay, so in the browser module, okay, they have imported the common module as well as they have also exported the common module, right? Okay, so now why they have exported the common module? Okay, because this the functionality of the common module should also be available in the app component right now. Okay, right now in the common in the app module we only have app component, right? Again, in the app module we only have app component. Okay, but this app component will we can also use this directives and pipe inside the app component. All right. Okay, fine. There are a lot of scenarios, okay, where we may also need to use the directives and pipe inside the app component. Yes. Okay, so this app component will also require the functionality of the common module. All right, this app component will also require the functionality of the common module. Yes. Okay, so to make the functionality of common module available inside the app component, okay, they have imported this common module in the browser module. Okay, in the browser module also they have imported the common module as well as they have again exported the common module. Okay, so since they have imported the common module as well as again re-exported that common module, hence the functionality of these directives and pipes also becomes available to the app component. Got it, guys? Is it clear? Fine. So just remember that the browser module also re-exports the this common module. Fine. Okay. So here we can say that this app component now has the browser specific functionality, plus it has the functionality of directives and it has the functionality of pipes, right? Okay, so it has all the three types of functionality. Since it is in since in this app module we have imported the browser module, okay, this app component gets the functionality of the browser module, and since browser module again re-exports the common module, this app component also gets the functionality of the directives and the pipes, right? But then in our mod A module, okay, we have imported only the commons module. Okay, so this A1 component will only get the functionality of directives and pipes. Okay, it will not get the functionality of browser. Right? Okay, and anyways, okay, in this feature module we don't require the functionality of the browser because the browser functionality has already been included in the root module. The browser specific functionality has already been included in the root module. So in the feature module, we don't require the browser specific functionality. Right, guys? Okay. So here again, if we, instead of common module, if we include the browser module, okay, then it will be an overhead, right? So the same functionality you will be importing twice. Okay, so we don't want the same functionality to get imported twice. So that's why instead of browser module, we are importing the common module. Fine, guys? Is it clear? So in the interview, they might ask you the question that what is the difference between the browser module and the common module? Okay, so you should be able to tell these particular points. All right? Yes, guys? Is it clear to everyone? Please, can I have some responses in the chat? Okay. Now, the last thing over here for today, quickly I will show you. If you go to this app.module.ts, okay, over here, we do not have any bootstrap property, right? Okay, so we have declarations, we have imports, okay, we have exports, but we do not have this bootstrap property, okay? But if you go to this app.module.ts, we also have this bootstrap property. Yes, okay. So now let me just comment this bootstrap property. And now I will save this. Okay. Bootstrap app component. Okay, what happened? Now, if I go over here, okay, see our code has compiled properly. Our code has compiled properly. Okay, no error is showing over here. Okay, but now if I go to my browser, okay, all the output has gone. It has been vanished. And now if I open my console, I'm seeing an error message. Okay, what is that error message? The module app module was bootstrapped, but it does not declare the @ng module.bootstrap components nor a ng do bootstrap method. Please define one of this. Okay, so basically it is telling that please specify the bootstrap component either by using the bootstrap property or programmatically by using this ng bootstrap method. Okay, fine. Now how to do that programmatically, that is a different thing. Okay, but it is saying that, okay, you need to specify the bootstrap property. You need to specify the bootstrap property. Okay, so that means what? When it comes to root component, specifying the bootstrap property is mandatory. Okay, so there must be at least one component which should be specified as a bootstrap component. Okay, but when you talk about the feature modules, okay, specifying the bootstrap property is optional. Okay, so over here if I specify bootstrap, and again here if I say a1 component, okay, so here even if I specify this bootstrap component, or even if I don't specify this bootstrap component, okay, that will not make any difference, right? Okay. Fine. Yes, guys. So that will not make any difference. Yes. Okay. So in case of root module, specifying the bootstrap property is mandatory. Okay. Whereas in case of feature modules, specifying the bootstrap property is optional. Right. Okay. So here I can add one more point. Bootstrap property is mandatory, and over here bootstrap property is optional. Yes, guys. I hope this is clear. Yeah. Fine. So these are the some points. Okay, you need to remember about the differences between the root module and the feature module. Yes, guys. Normally in development we don't pay attention to these things. Okay, but from interview point of point, okay, these are important questions. Right, guys? Fine. So yeah, I think that's enough for today. Right? Anyone has any questions? No questions? Fine. So I'll just stop the.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So can we use that Bootstrap module to our feature component?
Sorry.
Can we use Bootstrap, the
The
module which we used in the root component? No, am I audible?
yes, you are specifying you this no Bootstrap property.
Yes. So we can use in the feature modules also.
You can use it, okay, but even if you don't use it, that will not give you any kind of errors. It is optional in case of feature modules, but mandatory in case of root module.
Root modules.
Right?
Maybe if we have multiple component for a particular module, then which one to load? Correct? If you want to.
So in that case, okay. Now again, over here there is a big concept. Now this thing is basically related with this eager loading and lazy loading. Right? Okay. Now that eager loading and lazy loading, that is again a very big topic. Right? Okay. So it is something related with that. Okay. So obviously, right now we cannot go inside those things. Right? That is a very advanced topic. Right? But it is somewhere related with that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So right now, just remember. Okay. If in case if you are giving the attending any interview as a fresher for Angular, then even if you remember these points, I think that will be enough. All right, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, sir, we didn't know about that, the which you explained.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things which are not known by many people. Right. Okay. So in
Yes,
fact,
sir.
I came to know about these things because uh, uh, now I have a habit. I am having a habit like if I'm learning something, I want to go in the complete depth of that. Right. Okay. So by complete
Right.
R&D, commenting this code, commenting that code, then seeing the output, then predicting. Okay, now if I comment this, then this is happening. If I comment that, then that is happening. Okay. So this must be the flow, right? So by doing all that R&D things, I got to know these things. Right.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So normally developers don't get that much of time to do this R&D. Now, since
Yes, sir.
my job is to teach, so I have to do that thing. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Okay.
And sir, we have class tomorrow also.
Tomorrow we will keep the back because we missed one session, no? So tomorrow we will keep a
Yes.
backup of that. Right? Okay.
Okay, sir. Yes. Thank you.
In case if it gets cancelled, okay, then I will put a message on WhatsApp. But if you don't get any message, then assume that the class is there.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay, then. So we'll stop you over here. Okay. Thank you for attending the session. Right. So good night, everyone.
Yes, sir. Good
Okay,
night.
I'll stop
Good
the
night, everyone.
recording.
Thank you.